Hello and welcome. My name is Sasha Stokes. Thanks for hanging out with me in our classroom today. So we are dealing with a proportion problem here, okay? So remember, when you're dealing with proportions, you are going to see some fractions that are equal to one another, okay? You're also going to have some missing information that we're going to solve for using a variable. So let's get started. This question says for 1.5 cup of flour, we need 2/3 cup of sugar. So I have already inputted my information into these fractions. But notice how consistent I am, okay? On the top, on the left, I have for every 1.5 cup of flour, I need 2/3 of sugar. Okay, now look at the right side, okay? For every 2 1/3 cup of flour, notice flour is still on the top. How much sugar do I need? Notice sugar is on the bottom, okay? Sugar is still on the bottom. So you have to remain consistent when you're setting up your proportions. That's very important, okay? So now, as you notice here, I have the letter X. Why? Well, because I am looking for something. How much sugar is needed? In math, when you're trying to find something, you use a variable. The most common we can use is X. So I use the X. All right. Now take a look at this. I decided to convert my fractions into decimals. Okay. I turn 1/2 into a decimal by taking my whole number and putting it in front of my decimal. And then 1 divided by 2 is going to give me 0.5. Okay. Look at 2/3. I took 2/3. I put 2 divided by 3 in my calculator. And as an answer, I got 0.6 and a whole bunch of sixes. So I just rounded it up to 0.67. Okay. All right. So first thing to remember when dealing with proportions is to be consistent. Now you need to remember how to multiply them. You multiply on a diagonal. So check this out, okay? All right. So I have my 1.5 times my X. Okay. So what is 1.5 times X? Yeah, you're right. It's just 1.5 times X. That's the unknown. Don't forget to bring down that equal sign, equal, okay? And now we need to create another diagonal line, 2.33 times 0.67 is going to give me 1.5611. Now I need to solve for X, okay? So over on the left, I have 1.5 times X. Well, remember, inverse operations do the opposite, okay? So I'm just going to divide by 1.5, and I'm going to leave X right there, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing on the right. And I'm going to get X is equal to 1.040. And a whole bunch of numbers after that. All right, so my X is equal to 1.040. So let's go back to that question, okay? For every 1.5 cup, for every 1.5 cup, we need 2/3 servings, okay? So how many servings did we get here? Look at your whole number. Okay, so that means we were only able to pull out 1/2 cup. We was only able to pull out 1.5 just one time. So that means we only need 2/3 cups of sugar. Okay, if X would have equaled 2, then we would have had to say 2/3 times 2. okay? But at this point, it says x is equal to 1. So we only need 1 serving, which was 2/3 cups, okay? So that's all the sugar we need. It's just 2/3. Now, I want you to take a look at this, just looking at the fractions, okay? So how many times can I pull out 1.5 cup out of 2 1/3? So in this section here, I have it written out. I have my 1 cup and then 1/2 cup and 1/2 cup. I split it up. That actually makes my 2 cups. And then over here, I have my 1/3, okay? So I have to create 1.5 cups, okay? So I have 1.5. So for this, I know I need 2/3 cups of sugar. Now, what is left? Okay, I'm going to change my color really quick to some other color. What is left? I have 1/3 cup plus 1/2 cup. And that's going to give me 5/6. Well, that's not enough to make another 2/3 because 5/6 is not even 1. Remember? 6/6 is equal to 1. So 5/6 is not enough to make 1 cup. Okay? So as you can see, just by expanding your question, you can see we only need 2/3 cups of sugar because we were only able to take 1.5 cup out just one time. All right, thank you guys. Bye-bye.